Hi guys, so continuing on my previous video discussing about car buying advice. So today I'm going to focus my attention a little towards first about fresh grad buyers, first time buyers. Okay, what are the options open to you guys? So the other day somebody was asking me about zero down payment scheme. It's what they call, they package it as a graduate scheme, but basically it's a zero down payment scheme whereby I'm not sure about insurance and road tax, but basically you don't have to put much money down, and pop, or then you just drive away a new car, and every month you just service the monthly repayments. Is that a good option to proceed? Well, it is a choice, all right, which you can make, but before you make that choice, I want to alert you that there are certain things that you need to be worried, you need to think through before you sign on such a you sign and commit yourself to such a deal. Now, to start off, these offers are legitimate, all right? I mean, car dealerships, car companies, they actually offer such schemes to get fresh grads to buy their cars. These are legitimate schemes. Okay, now what you do have to be aware about, however, is that because you don't have down payments, you don't have to put the down payment. The amount of money that was supposed to have went into a down payment is now then spread over your loan. Now, which on its own, right, it doesn't impact your monthly repayments, but it does impact on what's going to happen 3 or 4 years down the road if and when you choose to sell the car. Okay, you see, because the larger the amount you borrow, as you repay that, as you're repaying it, your repayments may not be able to keep pace with the car's depreciation. So 3 or 4 years down the road, when you sell the car, you may find that the amount that you still owe the bank is more than what the car is worth in the used car market, and that is before you go to the used car dealer and they press your price even further down. So if you want to sign up for all these zero down payment schemes, you better be prepared to either A, keep your car for the really long haul, or B, when you choose to sell the car a number of years down the road, you have to be mentally prepared that you will have to top up extra money to make up the difference. All right, so basically it's this: at some point or another, you just have to pay the whole amount. It really depends on how the whole payment regime is structured and how comfortable you are with it. Okay, if these factors are okay for you, if you have awareness of all these factors in mind, and you still think that is okay, then yes, by all means, go ahead. For me personally, I don't feel comfortable committing to such a purchase. Okay, yeah, I mean, I just don't. In fact, if I were at that stage, other options I would consider perhaps would be, if you're okay with a motorcycle, go right ahead with that. Or what you may want to consider is going into the used car market, pick up something for less than 10,000 ringgit, drive it around for a couple of years, okay, and then once your income is better, you are more stable in your career, that is when you upgrade to something better. All right, let me just tell you something. All right, for 10,000 ringgit, what can you get? You can get a Waja of any age. You can get a Gen 2 Persona. You can get what else? You can get even a Camry 2.2 GX. You can get a BMW E34, E36, Mercedes 124. The options are there. All right, and that is really dependent on your what lah. In fact, if you're ambitious enough, you can even get an early batch BMW E39. I kid you not. But if you're a fresh grad, don't touch that lah. You may not be ready for that. But you see, the thing is this: when you buy a used car for cheap, you don't have monthly repayments to worry about. Okay, so when people say you buy a used car, you have a lot of things to fix. Yes, there will be things to fix, which is why before you buy the car, you have to do your due diligence of the car, get the car's condition checked, and at least you have an idea on what are the things that you may end up may require to fix, and you will be able to budget accordingly. That's one. Second thing, because you don't have to pay the bank every month, you have that extra cash, all right, on standby in case you need to, in case repairs do crop up. And lastly, the third factor is when it's time for you to sell the car in a couple of years down the road, you can then let go the car with very, very minimal loss. First, at the very least, you don't have to top up money to the bank, all right, to pay off the difference in your balance versus your car's resale value. That's one. And second thing, chances are you may not lose much money at all. So let's say like today you've bought a Waja for 5,000 ringgit. What's the worst case scenario? 3 years down the road, you sell it for 3,000 ringgit, still 2,000 ringgit depreciation over a period of 2 years, 3 years. That is fantastic, right? That is cheaper than renting a car. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the car buying options are there, so just something for you guys to take care of. If you want to commit yourself to a car buying decision, be aware of all these factors. And one more thing, sometimes it is worthwhile to invest in cars with enthusiastic following. This is something that Bing and I can testify from our personal experiences with the MX-5 as well as the E39, because it is through these cars that you have access to the car ownership community. You have the opportunity to network with people you would otherwise not have a chance to meet. Okay, so these are things that that you want to consider. And also, like, the other thing I would like to say is that, like with Bing's MX-5 and with my E39, for example, these cars, they are more than just modes of transport. I mean, yes, they have cost us a bit of money to upkeep them, but I also look at these cars, I also look at them in a way that they are not just cars, but they are something like our call card. They are like our it's like a marketing tool for us, whereby I would say that the E39 has helped me generate a lot more a lot of, well, interesting content for my channel. So that car, despite some of the repairs it has cost me, it has also repaid me in more ways than one. So yeah, something for you guys to think about. And okay, so hope that little piece of advice helps. Okay, so fresh grads, good luck, okay, with your car purchase. Cheers.